In Project 4 that begins on page 17, we're going to take a look at how we can customize images and text boxes within our document. And we've already looked at a few of these in level 1 as far as formatting size and size on shapes and clip art. However, in this chapter we're going to take it a little bit further with our formatting and customization of graphics such as pictures and clip arts and text boxes. So with that, you can read at the bottom of page 17 the layout dialog box is explained a little bit further, both the bottom page 17 and 18, and if you want to review through that you certainly can. In Project 4A we're going to actually take a look at that layout dialog box in a little bit more detail and apply some of those formats to a clip art image that we're going to add to our document. And I've already opened the document that they're looking for, TTS Maui, and they do have you save it under a new name, although I'm not going to do that. But we are going to insert a clip art image called Hawaii. So to get to the clip art images, we're going to go to the Insert tab in the Illustrations group and then Clip Art. And I've already typed in Hawaii once, but if this were the first time through, we would type in Hawaii and then you press Enter or click Go. And that will bring in all media file types. So that'll include illustrations, photographs, videos, and audio. And then we'll have to scroll down just a little bit here to get to the exact image that they're requesting in the textbook. And I'm finding that image or looking at that image that's on page 19. And there it is. So I'll click on that and that inserts it into our document. At this point I'm going to go ahead and close out of the clip art task pane on the right hand side so we have a little bit more room to work with in our document. And then we're going to go through and format it in a variety of ways, and then they'll have us resetting it and trying the format process again. So the first thing that we're going to do is change the height of the picture, and keep in mind when you've got the picture selected, the Picture Tools Format tab will appear. You'll have a ribbon where the buttons, all the buttons on that ribbon will apply to the object that you have selected. If I deselect that, notice the Picture Tools Format tab is removed. So you want to make sure you click on the graphic and then Picture Tools Format tab. In the size group, we're going to increase the height of that, actually decrease it because it's at 1.9, but we're going to change it to 1.5. So I'm just typing that in and pressing Enter, and that adjusts the height. We're also going to apply a style. In the Picture Styles group, we're going to go to Quick Styles, and we're going to apply the Beveled Matte White style. Okay. So go ahead and apply that. Notice it has now the edging around the picture itself. And then we're going to also adjust the brightness and contrast of the picture. And I'm going to go to the Adjust group to do that. And we'll go to Corrections. And then the one that we're looking for is brightness minus 20%, and the contrast is going to be plus 20%. So go ahead and click on that, and that is applied to the picture that we have there. And then at this point they decide that after looking at that we don't like what we see there, so we're going to reset the picture back to its original state. So to do that, again in the Adjust group, the bottom button here, Reset Picture, I'm going to click on the drop down menu to that, and we're going to reset the picture and the size since we changed the size. So it'll go back to all the original formats. Okay, now we're going to apply the shape height of 1.3, so we're going to make it just a little bit smaller than we had previously. And we're going to wrap the text so that we can position it anywhere in our document without it having problems. Like if I click and drag down to my area here, it's difficult to see the text around it, but if you wrap it in a certain manner, you can position your picture just about anywhere in your document. So the text wrapping is in the Arrange group, and then we're going to click on the Wrap Text button, and the option that they've selected for us is in front of text. So now we can position that wherever we want it, place it in front of the text. Alright. And then they do want us to position it in a specific spot on the page, and we can do that. First of all, we're going to go to the Size group and we're going to launch this dialog box, which ends up being the Layout dialog box. And we are on the Size tab already, but they want us to go to the Position tab, and we're going to be able to position this clip art specifically on our page. And the adjustments that they want us to make, the horizontal position, the absolute position, they want us to set that at 6.2 to the right of the page. Okay. And then the vertical position, the absolute position there, they want us to switch that to 2, again, below page. And really those are the only changes that we'll make, and we'll go ahead and click OK out of that. And now it positions it right at that spot. Now honestly, not the greatest spot unless you want it right on top of that border, which is fine. I think the purpose here is just to show you that you can position it at a certain increment, both vertically and horizontally on your page. Alright, we're also going to apply some more styles and colors to the picture. And from the picture styles group, we're going to go back to quick styles, and we're going to choose the drop shadow rectangle to that. Notice when I click off of it, there's a little drop shadow that's been applied to the clip art. And then we're also going to apply a color. So again, in the adjust group, we'll click color, and the color that they want us to choose is turquoise accent color too dark. Okay, turquoise accent color too dark. And again, trying to probably correlate the colors with the existing colors that are in the document. Alright, and then finally they do ask that we compress it, the picture itself. So in the adjust group, if you'll recall the compression, you just click on the compress pictures button, and we're not going to make any changes to the defaults there. We'll just click OK. So that takes place in the background, so reduces the size of it. Alright. Then continuing on here, we're going to take a look at how we can apply additional formatting to, or customization to, photographs that we've inserted into a document. And on page 21 in Project 4B, we're going to continue in this same document, but we need to go to the very end of the document. So I'm going to press Control End, and we're going to insert a photograph at the bottom here. And again, the photographs, if you'll go to the Insert tab, Clip Art. But now this time on the right hand side where the results should be, if you click on the drop down arrow, we're going to click on the check mark to remove all media types and then select just the photographs option. Okay. And then in the search for, we're going to search for surfing. And again, I'm going to press enter, or you can click go. And the picture that we're looking for here, again, I'm looking on page 22, so we'll try to find something similar here to what they're looking for. And the picture that they have in the textbook, after searching through that, is found towards the bottom, at least in my clip art task pane. If you'll notice in the book there on page 22, it doesn't look like they've scrolled down very far to get that picture, but yours may be in a different spot in your clip art task pane. But there's the picture. I think that's pretty similar. We'll just click on that to insert it into our document. And then we'll go through and size this in just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and close out of the clip art task pane. And we'll go ahead and make some of the changes to the picture effects and the artistic effects before we change the size of it. So, excuse me. In the picture styles group, we're going to go into the picture effects, and we're going to choose the bevel. Oh, you know what? Let's go into in the picture styles group, not the quick styles, but the picture effects is the one that we're going to take a look at. And in the bevel group, we're going to choose the circle option. You can see that there, and that'll kind of, you can see how it applies it to the picture itself. And then next we're going to apply an artistic effect to the picture. Pull this down here a little bit, and that's in the adjust group, and then the artistic effects. And the one that we're looking for here is the cutout option. Let's see if we can find that. Okay, that's toward the end there, toward the bottom. and that'll apply that effect. Makes it appear to be cut out. And then after we've done all that, they ask that we reset it again. So we're going to reset the picture back to its original state, and we want just a reset picture. We don't need to redo the size because we haven't applied a size until now. And then once we've reset it, they do want us to apply a shape height of 1.4. That'll make it quite a bit smaller. Okay. And then we're going to apply some different effects to it as well, but we're going to go through the Picture Styles dialog box launcher. So in the Picture Styles group, I'm going to click on the dialog box launcher. That'll get us into the Format Picture dialog box. And the first thing that we want to do here is go into the reflection area. And within the reflection area, then we'll go to the presets option, and we're looking for reflection, and we want tight reflection touching. So we'll click on that. That'll make changes to the background. Go ahead and close out of that and keep it selected. Okay, and after making that change, then that kicked it to the next page. So we'll operate from it down here, but once we get the size situated and some of the effects taking place on the picture, then in real life you would want to make sure that is included at the bottom of the previous page. But we'll look at it from this page for right now. They also want us to apply the artistic effect of a paintbrush. So if we'll go back to the artistic effects button, and the paintbrush option I think is on the second row. We'll see here. Right there. All right. So that applies the paintbrush effect supposedly. And then we'll take a look at wrapping the text and changing the size of the picture and where it's positioned on the table or in the document. All right, so wrapping the text, again, we need to make sure we click on the picture, and then wrapping the text is in the Arrange group, and then Wrap Text, and they want it tight for this particular one, so we'll click on that. And then we're going to position it in a specific spot like we did previously where we went to the Layout dialog box. So in the Format tab, again, the Size group, click on the dialog box launcher. That gets us into the Layout dialog box. And again, the position area is where we want to be. For the horizontal position, they want an absolute position of 5.3. This is horizontal, okay, 5.3 to the right of the page. And then for the vertical position, they want that set at 6.6, again below page. Okay, and then we'll click OK. And we'll see where that positions it. Okay, so there it's to the right of that last area. And again, since you made it tight, you wrapped it tightly, then it can be positioned right near text without interfering with those lines, and in this case, bullets within that area. Okay. All right, now we're going to insert a text box that will include Hawaii, the Aloha State, within the text box. So for now, we'll just click down here at the bottom, and then we'll position it later. So to insert a text box, we'll go back to the Insert tab. In the Text group, we're going to click on Text Box. And there are some default built-in text boxes that could be used, but in this case they want us to click on the Draw text box so that we can specify where we want it located. And they actually want the text box above this Maui sites heading. So we'll just click right here. That'll insert a text box. You could actually draw it as well if you want to make it wider or whatever. We can resize it just a little bit, but notice there's an insertion point in that text box. Go ahead and type in Hawaii, the Aloha State. And then we're going to start formatting it, and we'll want to click on the borders of this so that there's a solid border around that text box, a thick solid line. Okay, and if we press Control E, that will center the text within that text box. We can also rotate the text, and to rotate, in the Text group at the top, choose the text direction, and they actually want rotate all text 270 degrees. Okay, and then they want us to change the height of it to 5.7. So notice my size group doesn't have enough room on this ribbon, so it reduced it down to a button. So I'm going to click on that button. That expands out the size group, and the height that we want for this is 5.8. The width is going to be 0.8. Okay, and then we'll position it in just a little bit. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and format this text box. Okay, let me make sure I size that correctly. 5.8 for the height, and I'm getting this from the bottom of page 23. So the height is 5.8 and the width is 0.8. So I think we're good on that. So we'll come back and position it in just a little bit. Okay, we're going to format it by applying some styles to the text box, and one way to do that is from the Shape Styles group. We're going to launch the dialog box, and within that we're going to apply a fill color. So we're on the fill category on the left. The fill color, we're going to choose from the palette. We want blue accent 1, lighter 80%. So go ahead and click on that, and that's the fill color. That'll fill up the text box. Then in the shadow category on the left hand side, we're going to choose the presets button, and we'll choose a outer option that will be offset bottom. Okay, and then there's also a glow that we want to add. So the glow and soft edges category. Again, in the presets button, we're going to choose the blue 5-point glow accent color 1, which is the very first one. Alright, and then we'll close out of that. You can kind of see what it's doing. It filled it, it applied a shadow, and it also applied the glow to it. Okay, and then we're also going to apply a word art style. So in the word art styles group there, we'll go into the quick styles, and the one that we're looking for is, let's see if we can find that, gradient fill blue, accent 1, outline white. Okay, and notice it changed the text that's within there. Okay, and then, and I'm not sure that's the best option, that's really hard to read, but that's what they selected for now. And then we're going to position this text box at a specific point on our page. So to do that, again, remember, we'll go back into the size group, and we want to launch the size dialog box, which is actually called the layout dialog box. And in there we want to go to the position tab. The absolute position for the horizontal positioning is going to be at 1, and again it's going to be to the right of the page, and the vertical alignment is 2.7, and again below on the page. Alright, I'll click OK out of that. You can see where it's positioned it, outside to the left of these sites, which is perfect. And then we're going to increase the font size of the text in there to 36 point. Alright, so now you can see that a little bit better. I'm going to go to the print preview for just a second so you can get the overall view here of it. So we've got the picture, it doesn't look that great, and in real life I might want to move that up a little bit just in that area. That's the clip art, and then the picture down at the bottom is at the right portion of the Maui activities, and then we inserted the text box to the left of both of those areas, the sites and the activities. Okay, I'll go back to the home tab just a minute, and you can see that in the normal view as well.